Bring in Tom Perez right now, the chair of the Democratic National Committee. Chairman Perez, congratulations on the House. You lost the Senate. What went wrong there?
Well, the map was historically challenging, George, and so we knew going into it that it was going to be a tall order. We still got a couple races out west in Nevada and in Arizona that I think we have a real shot at, and that goes to show that we're really, you're starting to see places like Arizona turn purple because there's a real opportunity there. You saw Ann Kirkpatrick win that seat down in Tucson. And we've become a 50-state party again. I mean, you look at Kansas, and we picked up a seat there, and we picked up the governor's residence there with Laura Kelly. 4 out of the 5 governor's flips from red to blue are also women. So your point about 2018 being the year of the woman, that's also true in state houses as well. So I'm bullish because we needed to have a check and balance in Washington. We always knew the Senate was going to be a tall order, but we were confident about the House. And California hasn't reported anything yet in terms of their results, and I think we're going to pick up a number of seats there. So
you just repeated the same phrase we heard from Leader Pelosi, check and balance. What is the #1 thing you want to check about President Trump?
Well, we need accountability. I mean, remember when Barack Obama was president, the definition of a scandal was when he wore a tan suit. I mean, here, how many agencies have had leaders who have either had to leave or, frankly, should leave because they've been engaged in, at a minimum, ethical misconduct and possibly criminal misconduct? It is a culture of corruption that engulfs this administration, and we need that accountability. But what we're going to be fighting for, right at the outset, as Leader Pelosi pointed out, is infrastructure. Protecting people with pre-existing conditions, making sure we can create good jobs across this country that pay a decent wage, making sure we protect our dreamers. We're going to go right to work on the issues that matter most to people. I've heard a lot about education from folks. You saw that upset victory in Oklahoma in the congressional race tonight. Well, we helped flip 4 state house seats there last year. And the big part of the challenge in Oklahoma, George, is that there's tens of thousands of school kids who go to school 4 days a week because Republicans have cut funding for education through the bone. And so that's why people are willing to take a look at the Democratic Party, because we're fighting for the issues they care about.
Realistically, can anything actually get done given the fact that Republicans have increased their majority in the Senate?
Well, I worked for Ted Kennedy in 1995 through 98. It was divided government. After 1994, they said that you're not going to get anything done. And we got a minimum wage increase. There was immigration reform. There was welfare reform. There was a hate crimes bill. There was a lot of things that got done because the Democrats were willing to work hard in a bipartisan fashion. Leader Pelosi said tonight, we are absolutely willing to do that. It absolutely takes 2 to tango. And the question presented is going to be, will this president and will Mitch McConnell be willing to stand up to their far-right flank of the Republican Party? I hope they will.
Which Democratic Party won tonight? We saw such diverse candidates. You saw some candidates on the very, very progressive, extremely progressive, other candidates trying to go right down the middle of the road. Can you knit them together into a common agenda, into a common party?
Yeah, again, getting back to my former boss, Ted Kennedy, he often said, if somebody asks you what wing of the party you belong to, tell them you belong to the accomplishments wing because you want to get stuff done. Everybody who got elected on the Democratic side, we want to make sure we protect health care for people so that if you have a pre-existing condition, you can keep your health care. We want to pass an infrastructure bill so that we can put people to work. We want to make sure that people who go to public schools, regardless of where you live, have access to quality public schools. There are so many things that unite Democrats, whether you're the new member from Kansas or whether you're the new member from Queens. There are so many things that unite us, and those are the things we're going to continue to work on.
It seems like Florida is breaking the hearts of Democrats again. A Republican is going to be governor of Ohio. Again, 2 such key states in a presidential race in 2020 coming up. What's gone wrong for the Democrats in Florida?
Well, we got to keep organizing, and we came up just short in that governor's race. We put a lot into it. I'll tell you, one of the first things I'm going to do, there was a ballot initiative there, I think it was Referendum 4 or Amendment 4, to allow 1.5 million people who have been permanently disenfranchised from voting because they have a felony conviction to get their rights restored. And it passed with a solid bipartisan majority. I'm going to make sure that people who've paid their debt to society can vote. We saw this in Virginia. Terry McAuliffe led the way there. We've got to make sure that we expand those opportunities, and we're going to continue to work hard in Florida and elsewhere. And I'm heartened by the fact that we won 5 seats, and there's another 4 or 5 that are still in play as you and I sit here at 12:30 or 12:40 East Coast time. And that's a pretty good year for Democrats. That's a very good year. And again, Michigan, huge state, very, very important. Illinois, very important. Maine, New Mexico, Kansas, and again, we're still in play. Wisconsin's a dead heat right now, and so we'll see what happens there. So we got a lot more work to do, and we've made a lot of progress, and these are 12-year elections because they'll be in charge of redistricting. So I'm heartened by that, and we're going to keep fighting in Ohio. We're going to keep fighting in Florida.
And a lot more votes to count. Chairman Perez, thanks very much.
Pleasure to be with you.